Hello, 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 and welcome to the Hope for Business Tuesday Night Huddle Up. I am John Blunda, founder and CEO of Hope for Business, and we are so glad that you have joined us here tonight. I want to say hello to everyone who's gathered here at the Hope for Business, Billy Walters Center for Second Chances, and the Steve and Judy Auditorium. Can you please give yourselves a big, gigantic round of applause? I want to give a big shout out, I think, to everyone who's joined inside Nevada Department of Corrections. We got Gene Conservation Camp, we got Casa Grande, and we have my dear friends out at Southern Desert Correctional Center and Unit 12A, the Hope for Prisoners Unit. Can we give them a big, gigantic round of applause? Also joining us here tonight at the Tuesday Night Huddle Up is, I want to say hello to everyone who's joining from all over the world on Facebook Live, everyone who's joining on LinkedIn channel, and everyone who has joined us here tonight on the Hope for Business YouTube channel. Can we give them a big, gigantic round of applause? So we're going to start it off. We've got an awesome testimony and speaker here tonight. But usually what we like to do is we like to start off by telling testimonies. You know, I'm a Bible guy, and it says in the Bible that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So this is an opportunity for you to give short testimonies. It's got to be short. I'll cut the mic off. But anything that you want to talk about, right? Somebody might have just gotten a job, right? Someone may have just got reconnected with family. Someone may have some clean time under their belt that you want to share it with us. That's going to be the opportunity to do this now. We're going to open up to people here in the room. You can make your way up front. If you are inside one of the institutions, put that little yellow hand up. We'll get the mic turned on. And if you're on one of our platforms, please make sure you drop that in the chat. And Chad is going to be monitoring that chat. So we can open up. Anybody in the room? Any testimonies? Anybody like to share? Everybody sitting down? Anybody? Well, you got to make your way up here. Come on. Give her a hand while she's coming up. All right, tell us your name and what is that test? You got to look that way over the camera.
My name is Hazley. My clean date is 2/23/21.
Yeah.
I'm actually going on 5 years.
Man, give her a hand, man. My goodness, give her a hand for that. 5 years. Ladies over. You can make your way up over here. Give him a hand. Is he coming up? What's your name and what is that test for relationship?
William Mobley. I just went and tell everybody in 12A. I got out on Friday, still sober.
Man, give him a hand, man. You guys see him. We can make our way inside the Nevada Department of Correction. Casa Grande, will you please step up? Tell us your name and what is that testimony you'd like to share?
Hi, my name is Shadonna, and I just want to say that I told you I wasn't going to get up here and say nothing, so I had something to say, and I got a job. I start next week.
Man, give me a hand. That's awesome.
And Miss Sarah, definitely want to say I love you, Mom. I love you, Miss Mary. I love you so much. I miss you. You'll hear from me soon. Daddy, I love you. I love you. I love you, Mary. I love you so much. Everything that you told me, it don't go on forgetting. I keep my walk a straight line. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. I love you, lady, for loving me.
Oh, that's awesome. Give a hand, Jack. Give a hand. Any shout outs to family. We'll go back out to Casa Grande. Step up, tell us your name, and what is that testimony you'd like to share?
My name is Mel, and I just want to say I'm sober. I'm doing good at work. I start my project management class next month in March. And I just want to send a shout out to my mom, Debbie. She needs some prayers out there for some warm weather. She's out there in the East Coast doing food and everything. And want to say hello to all the ladies in camp. Linda, I love you. Miss you.
Outstanding. Give a hand. Give a hand. Casa Grande, step up. Tell us your name, and what is that testimony you'd like to share for us?
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I just want to say that I've been working for about a month now, and I have to say that I wouldn't be without God where I'm at today, and shout out to all my people that are watching.
Yeah, give her a hand for that. Thank you so much for sharing. Can't we have any more? We're going to get underway. We're going to go to something that's a correctional center. My man's in there. Step up. Tell us your name and what is that you'd like to share.
Hey, how's it going today, John?
Outstanding.
This is Artist Graham speaking. I woke up feeling very blessed. We got a lot of guys in 12A that just made it home.
Yes.
want to say congratulations to all our guys that's made it. Thanks to you, good things are happening.
Yes, sir.
It's very motivational to see guys out there really making it, putting in the footwork and staying down.
That's right.
So with that being said, we doing the same thing on our end. We can't wait to get home and utilize the program to the best of our ability.
Man, give it up for Mr. Graham, Mr. Graham. It is so awesome and so amazing that, when the guys get out, right? We let them know, because when you're in prison, right? Sometimes you hit that gate or you be going someplace else. But it really blesses my heart that when we're working with the men that are in there, right, they know, we know that within 48 hours, they got to walk through the door. But someone would get out, and it really blesses my heart. I see them in the lobby over there. I see them getting connected. So it starts in there, but it works out here and be able to continue it. And we have people getting plugged in without, they did the vocational training in the prison, and now they're out. Kyle Martin, electrician, working with Helix Electric, earning sustainable ways where he's been able to take care of himself and be able to take care of his family. Give my hand for that, man. We got one more. Step up, tell us your name, and what is that question or comment that you might have? A testimony, I'm sorry.
I just want to say that I'm just got approved for Casa Grande, so I'll probably be there next week. And I want to thank the Hope for Prisons program and all that you've done for us, John. I appreciate it.
Outstanding, man. Outstanding. Very, very proud of you. So we're gonna get everything on the way before I introduce our speaker. We're gonna, in a Hope for Prison fashion, we're gonna take it to the Lord in prayer. So Father, we just come before you this evening in the name of Jesus. God, we thank you for who you are. We thank you for waking us up, God, this morning with you in our mind. And Father, you in our heart, and just giving us another breath of life, God, to live for you. Once again, we thank you for everything you do, the things you've done, and everything, God, that your word promises that you will do. Father, we invite you into the midst of our huddle up, God. We ask you to huddle up with us, God, because we know where you are. Lives are transformed, God. People are healed, God, and strengthened from the crown of our head down to the sole of our feet, so we can continue to walk, God, on that path that you put us on. I want to lift up our speaker to you here tonight, God. We thank you for where you have brought him from and where he is today and where he is going to be going. I ask you to illuminate every gift, every talent, and every ability, God, that you place on the inside of him. And let the words that come out of his mouth, God, be transformative in all of our lives. We love you, we worship you, God. We pray you this prayer in the matchless name of your son, Jesus Christ. And in Jesus' name, everybody said, amen. Now, I want you to look at the person next to you and say it like you mean it, like they want to hear you up on the night floor. I want you to say, get ready. Get ready. No, y'all can do a little bit better than that, right? Get ready. Say, get ready. Get ready. Say, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I'm going to read through his Bible, and I'm going to turn him over to you, and I'm going to message you. I told you I'm gonna mess it up. So we're gonna introduce you to Dominic Carriel. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna read his Bible. All right? So Dominic's 31, raised in Las Vegas. Once upon a time, he was a deadbeat dad, and now he's the proud father of two. His life has included crime, addiction, 6 years in prison, homelessness, but it didn't end there. Today, Dominic stands on 2.5 years of sobriety. Give it up, boy! Rebuilding with accountability, grit, and purpose. His story is one of the hard lessons, real change, and showing up every day to be better than you were yesterday. If you guys would please put your hands together for my man, Dominic!
How's it going, everybody? My name is Dominic. I'm my colleague. So I got to be honest, I've never spoken at a podium before, so bear with me. First things first, I want to thank God that I'm sober.
Yes.
I'm here with you guys tonight, right?
Yes.
I think it's an honor and a privilege that I'm allowed to be here and attempt to bring a message, right? My sobriety date is 7/27/23. But I learned in Alcoholics Anonymous that the most important day is today, and the most important moment is right now.
Amen.
So I'm gonna walk around up here because I'm not comfortable with standing still. I identify as an alcoholic because I have alcoholism, right? You know, alcohol wasn't my drug of choice, but to truth be told, like I have a drug of no choice, right? Once I take the first one, it's all to the races for me, right? Oh, lights off. So yeah, right. Like I just want to clarify or qualify, actually, right? You know, for standing up here, you know, my bio was a little incorrect. I was actually born in the Bay Area, California, but I moved to Las Vegas when I was really little, right? I was fortunate enough to have a mother, to have a father who are still married to this day. I didn't come from a broken home. You know, I actually came from like a modern type of home, right? You know, I was the youngest of 4 siblings, so I was always the baby of the family. So I felt like I could get away with some stuff, right? When I moved to Las Vegas, you know, I was more attracted, even though I came from like a modern household, you know, like I was more attracted to the misfits, right? I was raised on Penwood in Arville, you know, if you know, you know, lovely neighborhood. And that's where I kind of did like, you know, my upbringing, right? I was really that little kid chasing the ice cream truck with hot Cheeto fingers. And, you know, I just want to give a quick shout out to the guys in 12A, to the women in Gene Conservation Camp, to the people at Casa Grande, because I know how much time means to you right now. You know, I have a lot of respect and love for the places that you're sitting in, because the guys that are in 12A, you know, I went home from 11B, and that place taught me how to be a man. It taught me, you know, how to grow up. You know, I was raised in that place. But we'll get to that, right? So I went to Clark High School. I went to Spring Valley High School, you know, and I started going to jail when I was really young. I think I was 17 when I got certified and went to county jail. And I remember when I got released, because it was just like a kick out. It was a little OR, right? My homies would talk about like that revolving door, right? Like the county jail, it's gonna keep opening, it's gonna keep opening. And that's not my story, right? You know, fast forward a couple years, you know, I caught my first felony, and that revolving door, you know, shut with me behind it. I went to prison for robbing the same Terrible's gas station 3 days in a row, because I'm an alcoholic. And if I would have got away with it a third time, I probably would have went back and forth. I was sitting in county jail, and you know, they had a bunch of football numbers over my head, because they were like, this guy must be insane. He robbed the same place 3 days in a row. He lived across the street. Like, what is this kid's problem? You know, I was 19 years old when I caught my case. So basically, after the prelim and everything, you know, they hit me with a pretty good deal, you know, that I thought at the time. You know, the DA offered me a 3 to 8, and my public defender, you know what I mean, was like, look, bro, you'll go up there, you'll come right out, you'll do a year for each time you rob the place. So I thought it was a good deal. So I was like, okay, shoot it, like let's get this going, right? So I landed in High Desert 2014. I did 2 years in High Desert. I ended up going to Ely 2016, 2017. I opened up that prison, and for the ones that know, you know, it was kind of like a big time, like in the institution, right? Because those tiers haven't seen bodies on them in decades, right? So I was a part of that. You know, it was a powerful time to be incarcerated. So I thought, you know what I mean? After Ely, I went to Southern Desert. You know, that's where I was gonna see the board finally, and I thought I was gonna get it, right? I had family show up for me. You know, I had people that were supporting me in my parole hearing, and the parole board, you know, honestly, they made it sound really good. They were like, look, you know, you're back in medium custody, you know, you've been right up free, you know, you're a perfect candidate for parole. So I left thinking that I was really gonna get it. But when I got my parole packet back, you know, every commissioner on that piece of paper denied me. So I was forced to I got to expire my sentence, right? On a 3 to 8, I did 6 years. I went in when I was 19. I got out when I was 25. And when I got out, like a bunch of cool stuff happened to me while I was in prison, right? Like I got married. My cousin hooked me up with his homegirl. She started riding me, and it worked out. You know what I mean? My wife, started to come to visit me. We ended up getting married at Southern Desert. And so when I got out, I didn't have any plans, right? I was like, cool. I don't have any parole. I don't have a leash. What's gonna be my next move? And like the thing is, right? Like I went away when I was 19, so when I got out, I was still looking at everything from a 19-year-old perspective, right? So I went right back to what I knew. You know what I mean? Boulder Highway, Seagull Suites to Budget Suites, Dottie's to Dottie's, and I like to say that my life fell apart so I could build a better one, right? Right when I got out, I got my wife pregnant, my first day out, and my daughter was born, So I had, a pregnant wife. I had my stepson, who's 13 now. But at the time, I think he was 11. And I thought I wanted to be like a family man, right? But I had no idea on how to be one. So I went back to what I knew, and that's drugs and alcohol. I identify as alcoholic because I suffer from alcoholism, like I said, but I like meth and Xanax, right? I like to say it's speeding with the brakes on, right? That's my get down. That's what I do. And that's what kind of brought me, to my knees, right? CPS got involved in me and my wife's situation once my daughter was born. And they said that we were unfit parents. And they were 100% accurate, right? They took my daughter from me, and they wanted me and my wife to get into treatment. And to be honest, like a dude like me, a dope fiend like me, doesn't know what treatment looks like. When I hear treatment, I think of the old commercials back in the day, like Passage Malibu, and I put it off, you guys. Like when I met up with my CPS caseworker, she told me, she was like, look, like the sooner you get into this, the better, right? Because parents get comfortable not having their kids. And here I am in this Starbucks bathroom downtown, right next to the BTC station with my wife, noodle grouping, trying to lick my ears, like looking at this lady like, no, I'm gonna fight for my kids. But that lady was right, like me and my wife put off going to treatment for about, 8 or 9 months. And I really became one of those parents that was comfortable without his kids, right? Me and my wife decided, right? CPS, when we went to our court date, because we would still make it to our court dates, right? We couldn't make it to visitation because we were getting loaded in between, right? So we never made it to our visits on time. We're getting kicked out of the custody, custody like in-person visits because we couldn't make it on time. And we went to a court date and they started bringing up adoption, and that's what kind of like scared me into trying treatment, right? My daughter, when she got took from us, she went with my sister-in-law, with my wife's sister, and my daughter went from living on Boulder Highway to living in Lake Las Vegas, in a 2-story home that they just built with Teslas plugged in the front, a lot better situation than Boulder Highway. And, I really, before I checked into treatment, like I remember having the conversation with my wife at a bus stop, saying that I think that she'd be better off without us. That's how far down the pipeline I went, right? Basically, my wife had enough, right? And she was like, look, I want to get into treatment, like, help me do this. So we went to West Care on 13th and Maryland, and we attempted treatment, right? As soon as they found out we were married, they immediately separated us. And they shot her to WCC, they shot me to the mountain. And I lasted about 6 hours at HSR, right? And it's crazy, right? Like I started talking to staff, and I was just like, look, man, like I don't think this is gonna work. Let me just go try Crossroads. And the staff told me that they were willing to help me, just not more than I was willing to help myself. And they were like, if you want to go, you can start walking. And I think that they were trying to call my bluff because I already had my bags packed and I was ready to leave, right? And as soon as I left, he pulls up beside me and he was like, let me give you a ride into town. And we drove from Mount Charleston all the way outside of this building that I'm standing in right now. And I was like, look, I'm gonna just go into Hope for Prisoners. I'm gonna get resources. I'm gonna do all this stuff. And he said, okay. That staff member gave me $20. He bought me Del Taco on the way and dropped me off right in front of this building. I remember plugging my phone in to the outlet that's downstairs in the parking garage. And I remember security coming up to me like, bro, you can't be on property, and I was lying, saying that I just got out of prison, I was like, look, I just need resources, I need help, this is not. The security guard looks at me and he's like, bro, it's Sunday. Like, this place isn't even open, right? And I went back to what I knew. I went right down the street to Lorenzi Park, and that's where like my homeless journey began. I got comfortable on the streets, right? Like I think dudes that have been in prison, dudes that have experienced the stuff that we've experienced. Like, I don't know everybody in this room, but if you're anything like me, I know you inside and out. I got comfortable on the streets, like I started stealing to support my habit. I started using way more than I probably should have. And my wife found me. She found me about like 4 months later, right? I went to a trap house right here on Washington and Rancho where we used to get high in, and one of our mutual friends said, hey, Dominic's over here, and he's got somebody else's blood on his shoes. I think you should come get him. My wife left her ILP class to come to that trap house and attempt to get me, right? They didn't even tell me in the house that she was coming. She just walked in the door, and I was sitting in the smoking circle, looking great. So what I thought, right? And she walked in the door and she walked right out. And she knew what she was doing, you know what I mean? So like I went chasing her. I was like, babe, like help me. Like I just feeling sorry for myself, right? Feeling sorry. And she took one look at me, bro, and she was just like, look, man, like I don't care what you've been doing, I don't care what you did. Help me get our kid back. And that's when I decided to actually give this thing a shot. She's like, look, I'm going back to West Care. She's like, if you're out front in the morning, like I'll take you to treatment. So I sat in front of West Care, on Rancho and Gowan, getting high, not knowing what my next move was going to be. And that's when I had my first spiritual experience, right? I was sitting right in front of there's a Funny's gas station on Gowan and Rancho. And I'm sitting there, I don't have any idea what to do. And this dude pulls up to the gas station. And it's about 3 a.m. He pulls out his credit card, swipes it, starts pumping gas. And the dude wasn't in like a Benz or he wasn't in like any type of like flashy type of car, right? It was missing a hubcap. I think it was a Saturn, but like I wanted what this dude had. I was like, this dude probably just got off of work. He obviously has money in his bank account and he's probably going home to his family. And I wanted that. And that dude normally would have been one of my victims, you guys, because that's what I do. Like I do everything alcoholically. Like I do drugs alcoholically. I will rob you alcoholically. I have sex alcoholically. Like it's just in my DNA, right? But I just had a little bit of blind faith, right? And I went back to Women's and Children's, West Care Detox, and my wife came out first thing in the morning. And she was like glowing and super happy. And she's like, are you ready to go to rehab? And I was like, yeah, like, no, I'm not. But let's do this. So I went to West Care. If anybody's been there, you know who Miss Gardis is. And that woman saved my life, right? She came out and she was like, look, bro, like you're not even supposed to be here. You're red flagged. You got into it with staff. Like you need to leave. And I told her, call the cops. I was like, I'm not leaving until I have a bed. And like, I'm not the type of dude that goes to jail and gets sober. I'm not the type of dude that goes to prison and gets sober. When I'm locked up, like it's time to perform, you know, because that's my arena, you know. I had to have the desperation of a drowning man. I had to have nothing else to run to. I had to have nothing in my pockets. All I had was the clothes on my back. And I told her I wasn't leaving until I had a bed. And that lady's stubborn, you know, she had me out there waiting about 7 hours. At the end of her shift, she came out and she was like, look, the only way you're gonna come in is if you come in right now. So I gave my wife a kiss on her forehead and I walked into treatment. And that's when I was introduced to rehab. You know, like I started doing IOP. I used to say IOP before IOD. I was trying to make it interesting for myself, right? I finished my IOP and my PHP at WestCare. I transitioned to 4th Street on Washington and Las Vegas Boulevard, and you know, stuff just started happening for me, right? Like I went to my CPS caseworker started coming to me, started bringing up reunification, you know, and I was only 3 months sober, you guys. So I saw hope, you know, I saw hope in this. And I went to my last court date for CPS, and they granted me and my wife full soul and physical custody of my daughter back, right? And once we were out of the court's hair, you know, me and my wife, we walked out of that courtroom, we didn't know what to do. And we were like, we don't have a leash on anymore. Like I wanted to do exactly, because I didn't get in this thing to stay sober, you guys. I got into this to get my kids back and go back to what I was doing, right? The Alcoholics Anonymous kind of like sucker punched me in the ear and made me sit down. I didn't know what to do. So me and my wife, we started gangbanging meetings, you know? Well, I was doing NA, I was doing AA, I was doing CA, I was doing HA, just to keep me out of my own head, right? Because me by myself, in my head, like my head's a bad neighborhood, you know, when I'm in it by myself. And I like to make wild decisions, right? So we just locked into the rooms. And, you know, some people were watching me from afar that I didn't know about. And, you know, I met my sponsor in a meeting. You know, he came up to me and he was like, hey, like, do you have a sponsor yet? And I was like, no, like, I'm shopping. I'm bargain shopping for once. And he's like, I'm gonna be your temporary sponsor. And that man led me through the steps. You know, I gave this man like my word that I would go through all 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. When he asked me if I was willing to do anything to stay sober, you know, at first I was 3-4 months sober, or I was about 6 or 8 months sober when my sponsor picked me up. He asked me, would I be willing to go to any lengths to stay sober? And I said, yeah, even though I didn't mean it, because I didn't know what my next move was, right? But I gave that man my word that I'll go through every step in Alcoholics Anonymous. He asked me, the only way I'm gonna take you through these steps is if you're willing to take the next man through the steps once you complete. And, you know, we started getting busy in the book. You know, at this time, I was about a year sober, you know. One of my close friends, you know, hired me at Freedom House in treatment. And I got to help people get from where I was to where I'm at, you know, and that looks different for everybody because everybody has different goals. But a treatment center hired me, you know. It was dope, dude. It was super dope. A funny story about that treatment center. When I was about 16 months sober, you know, and here I am, I'm all on fire for Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm doing it at work, I'm doing it at home, I'm doing it in the rooms. I'm about 16 months sober, I'm on my way to a meeting. And I get pulled over. And I was like, I have warrants, you know? And it was a really like humbling experience for me to go through, right? Because the cop pulls me out of the car right in front of Shine a Light with all my friends sitting outside. And he was like, hey, bud, like, you got warrants. And I was like, yeah, but like I'm 16 months sober, I'm working in treatment, you know, like I got a lot, my life's really big right now. And he's like, yeah, cool story, you're going to jail. And that cop drove me from Sahara and Rancho all the way to Henderson Detention Center. And like that's when I saw like Alcoholics Anonymous show up for me, right? I went to my court date, and I was like really convinced that I was not going to be sitting in jail. You know, I had court coordinators write letters on my behalf, character letters. I had program directors. I had case managers in treatment that I worked side by side with, all write letters on my behalf, and what I was doing now, right? And Freedom House brought a $5,100 check to pay my fines off in full, and I had about 10 people show up for me for that court date. And I was like, I'm walking in there with my chin held high. I was like, yeah, I'm getting out, you know? And the judge looks at me. She looks at the character letters. She looks at the blank check to pay my fines off in full. And she was like, yeah, like it really looks like you made an attempt to change your life, but you forgot all about us. She's like, I want my time. So I had to sit in Henderson jail, which is 5-star jail, you know, like chef's kiss. I had to do 60 days to clean up the wreckage of my past, right? And you know, the treatment center I was working at, they kept my job, you know, they kept me fed in there. I never went hungry. I never went without money on my books. When I would call them, they would answer the phone. Because, like, if you're anything like me, when we're in jail, nobody's answering the phone. When I got out, after I did, you know, I spent Christmas in there. I spent New Year's, because I went to jail, like, on December 14th. So I missed those holidays. But the thing is like, those holidays come around every year. So cleaning up, like your side of the street doesn't. I got out. I still had my job in treatment. I had my family, you know, I had the cartel of people that support me, and they just told me to keep doing what I was doing. So it's crazy how Alcoholics Anonymous shows up for me, right? Because, you know, I'm loving my job, you know, and my wife goes and shares on a panel at Channel Light, and some people that are in the crowd, you know, hear our story, and it's, you know, it caught their eye. And after the meeting, you know, some of my brothers that are sitting in this room right now, you know, they approached me and my wife, and they were like, look, man, like, I don't know you very well, but we love what you're doing in treatment. Like, we love what you're doing, but like what we're doing over here, like, it's life changing. And I think that you should give this a shot. You know, these men offered me a job, you know, at Local 525, plumbers and pipe fitters. And I didn't go about it like a dope fiend. I didn't be like, oh, more money? Like, sign me up, and like leave everything that I built. I called my sponsor. I called the people that I look up to in the program. I talked to my program manager about it. And the crazy thing is like nobody that I talked to told me not to do it. Everybody told me that you would be very stupid to not take this opportunity. So I just went into this with like blind faith, and there was a lot of fear involved too, because I was comfortable where I was at. And the truth is, right, like, we don't grow when we're comfortable. So I went into it with blind faith, right? And you know, I got a job at 525, like Local 525, right? And super humbling. You know, I went from a leadership role in the treatment center I was working at to a worm, to a booger, to somebody that doesn't know anything about the trade. But it's what I needed. It's what I need. You know, I just saw the 2-minute warning, but one thing like I want to leave with saying is like, God won't lead you to what he won't walk you through, right? And God, that was a DMX quote, by the way. You know, and I'm super grateful to be here. You know, God doesn't call on the qualified. God qualifies the one the ones that he calls on, right? So like, I'm super grateful to be here. I want to thank everybody that showed up for me tonight. It really means a lot. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in right now, you know, in 12A, in Casa Grande, in Gene Conservation Camp at Casa Grande. And I want to let you guys know that they can lock the locks, but they can't stop the clocks.
That's
Get home.
That's right. Was that awesome? Was that awesome? Right, so we can give you an opportunity to see how awesome it is. This is the time for the Q&A. And we're gonna ask you, what was that nugget that Dominic dropped in this room that you resonated with? We're gonna give you an opportunity to talk about that. We're gonna open up here at the Billy Walters Center for Second Chances in the Stephen Judy Siegel Auditorium. We're gonna open up for those of you inside Nevada Department of Corrections. If you wanna just make your way up, slip your hand, that little yellow hand up, and come up. And in the event that you're online, make sure we don't leave you out. Make sure that you drop that chat in the chat. One time I said drop chat in the chat. Did y'all get that?
Yeah.
Drop that chat in the chat, and Chad is back there monitoring. So we're gonna open up here in the Billy Walters Center for Second Chance. We're gonna make our way to the back of the room here. You're gonna have to stand up. I know he's over there, but you're gonna look at the camera right over there. He's about to make you famous. Tell us your name and what is that comment that you might have, or question you might have with Dominic.
William Mobley, and the nugget was, God walks you through what you'll walk you through.
That is good, man. That resonates. Give him a hand for that, man. Give him a hand. We're gonna open it up. Anyone here in the Billy Walters Center for Second Chances with somebody, and we're gonna go to Nevada Department of Corrections. Please step up. Tell us your name and what was that nugget that Dominic dropped that resonated with you? That's the microphone check.
Top to unmute.
You gotta unmute.
My name is Gregory Stevens, and the nugget he dropped when he was like talking about parents being comfortable without their kids. You know, I've been missing in my kid's life for a while. My oldest son, he across the street at High Desert, and I just found out today my youngest son, he got kicked out of school. He go to a pretty good school in Palos Verdes, California. And I was talking to my other baby mom, and she was telling me like he probably just like upset because he don't got you or his mom. His mom just got out of jail. She went MIA. I'm in prison. I wasn't even there before I was in prison. But when he said that, it made me think like I've been comfortable without my kids, and yeah, I don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's not good for nobody. So that's what resonated with me when he said it. Thank you for sharing that
That's
story.
good. Give him a hand for that. Dominic, you don't have an opportunity to respond to those if you want. If you want to respond to that comment that he made, or anything else that might come up. Step up. We're talking to Dominic.
I just want to say, you know, nothing is unrecoverable. You know, as long as you put in the work, you're serious about it. You know, those kids you're talking about deserve their parents, bro. And where you're at right now, you know, I didn't go through Hope for Prisoners, but I support and I believe in Hope for Prisoners, right? That's why I'm up here. And where you're at, bro, like, it's the field, bro. It's the field, and it's time to put some points on the board. You know what I mean? Like for yourself, for your kids. And Hope for Prisoners makes monsters, dog. So just stick with this program.
We make monsters. We make monsters. I have to check this thing about somebody talking about the kids and everything like that, because I grew up and I was nowhere near the father that my kids needed me to be, right? Nowhere near, right? Absentee, paid no attention, anything like that. And I remember when I was in prison, I decided that I'm changing my life and everything like that. And I said that when I go home, I'm gonna have to build up a trust account. Because I was that dad who always said, yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna, and never did nothing, never showed up, because I'm somewhere, my hand at the homies, whatever the case may be. And then I said that when I come home, I'm not gonna say what it is I'm gonna do. I'm never gonna say what I'm gonna do.
I think sometimes the best apology is changed behavior.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So what I decided was, I'm not gonna say it anymore. I'm gonna let my actions speak so loudly that they can barely hear what I'm saying. And building up that trust account, right? because I destroyed it, man, I am so honored and privileged that I had a chance to build up a trust account with that beautiful lady right there. Does that make sense? So even though it was a disconnect, you're disconnected, but there's always, when you change, you begin to walk that walk out, they all come back to you. Just because they have this, I'm gonna stop crying, they have this innate thing inside them that I don't care what happened with dad, but there's this innate thing that they want to grow up and see who they are. So we got to make sure that when they come back, because they will come back, we just got to make sure that they see the brand new you. Questions, comments here, and then about this thing, the second chance, we got to step up. Unit 12A. Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Because I know you're probably gonna say something good about me. I'm gonna and I'm gonna give you the microphone. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Hines. I just wanted to say, Dominic, thank you. You did amazing. That's the first time I heard your story, but I've heard you speak in meetings, and your message has always been powerful. So you knocked it out of the park. And we have this in common. When I came into treatment, it was because CPS took my kid. So I don't know why that time it was different, right? Because it hadn't been before. But God used that to get me in the rooms, and once I got connected with AA, I never looked back. So that was that initial motivator, but I promise you that wasn't enough to keep me here. So just thank you so much for your message, and I can relate, and I appreciate you, and I love you and your wife.
Love you too.
We're gonna go over to Unit 12A. Step up, tell us your name, and what is that question and comment that you might have for Dominic?
Hey, my name's Alex, and I just want to say, hey, Dom, thanks for, admitting, certain things like fears and expectations and stuff like that. It really helps connect, with people, and it's very relatable, and yeah, it's real, so just thanks for, opening up about it, being honest. And also, I want to give a shout out to Mowgli and Christine and my small dog and my mom. What's up, guys? Thank you.
Let's go.
That's awesome, that is awesome. We give a shout out to the small dog. We're here with Billy Walker Center for Second Chances, talking to we're gonna call him Dr. Dominic. Please step up. Everybody say Dr. Dominic. No, you gotta say it like you mean it. Say Dr. Dominic.
Dr. Dominic.
Come on, step up, Gene Conservation Camp. What is that question or comment that you might have for Dr. Dominic?
Are there any changes that you would have made with your relationships when you got out of prison? In regards to focusing on your relationships with your kids and your baby mama when you got out of prison? That's what you said.
Can you just repeat that one more time?
Are there any changes you would have made in regards to focusing on relationships soon after prison?
Okay, great question.
So honestly, I'm stubborn, and I want to say I wouldn't change anything about what I did, because I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't do what I did. And life's about learning, and there's no top of the mountain. You just got to keep climbing, and we're in the sport of recovery in here. You know what I mean? We don't keep score, we just keep scoring. And one thing that I could suggest is just when you get out, hit a meeting, see what we're doing. Do what we do. Grab some strong women that are around, and get in this thing. It's on tap for everybody.
Yeah, that's good. Give it up for Dr. Dominic. Your doctor, man. Dr. Dominic, we're here with Dr. Dominic. We're going over to Nevada Department of Corrections. Please step up. Tell us your name and what is that question or comment that you might have for Dr. Dominic.
All right, my name is Dupree. Hey, when you was going through your custody battle, getting your kids back, do they help you out with getting kids back from a different country? Is there any type of resources that they gave you or anything that you know about that part?
I mean, look, man, I only really know about Nevada because this is where this is where I got my kids back. But I know that it may seem like in the beginning that those people are against you and they're just trying to steal your kids, because that's what I felt. But these places want the kids to be back with mom and dad. I remember this conversation I was having with my CPS caseworker, She told me that 72% of kids that come into our custody don't make it home to their mom and dad. So that means 72 kids out of 100 don't make it home, you know? You just gotta apply pressure if that's what you're trying to do, and you gotta be about your business, bro, and get them kids home.
Yeah, give him a hand for that. Sir, can you step back up? Can somebody, Council Grande, get that guy? He's probably running back there and get some pizza. Come on back up, come on back up, come on back up. The young man just spoke at Casa Grande. Can you come back up? Go once. Is he up yet? Go on, Jack. He's coming out. Is he running? Oh, you gotta run. You gotta run. Is he running? He's standing up there. Remind me your name once again.
My name's Dupree.
Right. So Dupree, that question that you asked about from another country.
Yeah.
And again, you know, I think that things happen for a reason. We just so happen to have the deputy director of U.S. Congressman Stephen Horsford's office in the House. And I'm gonna ask him to stand up and look over the camera over there. And I don't know if you guys are there.
Hey, Bob, we did.
So glad you're here.
Hello, Mr. Dupree. I would love to ask just one simple question. Do you have the country that your child is currently residing in?
Yes, country and I guess a little city that's in the country.
Would you mind providing that information just that I can just be able to identify something real quick?
She's in Durango, Mexico.
Okay, we have relationships. I am going to, Mr. Ponders has my email. I would love for you to correspond any way that you can directly to our office, because we have what we call caseworkers that have relationship with congressional liaisons and federal liaisons that will be able to communicate. We can make our best effort to assist you through this process. We can't make any promises, but we will do everything we can. And that's commendable for you as a father to want to have a relationship no matter where the borders or the circumstances is. So I commend you as well for your efforts, and I look forward to connecting with you. Mr. Ponders has my information. It's ishmael.carroll@mail.house.gov. That's my email address. And I'm also going to give you my cell phone number directly so you can contact me whenever you have a chance or opportunity. It's 630-667.
She giving it to you right now, right on your hand.
Okay, it's 630-667-6224. And that's the number that's the phone number from my phone I have in my hand. So it's the only phone I have. So I'm not misguiding you. And please know we're gonna do everything we can because we love Mr. Ponders and what you're doing here at Hope for Prisoners. And Mr. Dupree, I look forward to speaking to you directly.
All right, man. Can we give him a hand for that? Give him a hand. Hey, you realize that you just spoke to the Deputy District Director of U.S. Congressman Stephen Horsford that said he's gonna do everything he possibly can to help you out in that situation. Can we give a big, gigantic round of applause? And that is awesome. We got 1 minute left. And let me find out, you trying to get connected with Stephen Horsford too? I'm just kidding. If you please stand up, you're gonna look at the camera over there.
I wanted to ask you, you said that you and your wife, were gang-banging meetings. You had mentioned AANA, and then you said a couple other ones. Which ones were they?
So look, I personally don't care what A you do. I always suggest that you do AANA, CA, SA. So there's Alcoholics Anonymous, there's Narcotics Anonymous, there's Cocaine Anonymous, there's Sex Anonymous, there's Heroin Anonymous. Whatever A keeps you from seeing the DA, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Man, that is so awesome. Can we give it up for Dominic? Dr. Dominic, man, this was just so awesome. Yes, that was some good stuff, huh? Was that good or was that good? We want to thank you guys for joining us here at the Hope for Prisoners Tuesday night Huddle Up. Before we sign off, I want to let you guys know that we are 2 months, everybody say 2 months. 2 months. We are 2 months away from April, and April is the month of second chances. So we celebrate really, really big here inside the state of Nevada. We are kicking off a Huddle Up in the park where we're gonna invite everybody out. We're gonna bring the people from Jean Camp, Casa Grande, and 3 Lakes out to the park. We're gonna lay down some blankets, and then we're gonna bring their kids and their family. We're gonna barbecue and all that good stuff. So make sure you go to our website and do that. And I got the sheriff said that he's volunteering, and the DA. They're gonna get in the dunk tank. And we're gonna go. What a world, what a world. Also in April, what we're gonna be doing, we are going to be having a second chance hiring event. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna call in all of our second chance employers that are paying really, really, really good money. You don't have to worry about that question number 7 on the bottom of the application. Have you ever been convicted of? They give you a pass on that because we're hopeful residents. So we're inviting all of our clients out, those who are underemployed, and we're gonna ask them an opportunity to be connected. And we're gonna send it out to the community. If you are in the community, and this is going out everywhere right now, if you're in the community, please go to our website. It'll be up, that event stuff will be up probably before the end of the week. But if you're unemployed or underemployed, we want to see you here, 333 North Rancho. Then we're gonna have our second chance graduation ceremony at the headquarters of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's slow. Let's try one more time. We're gonna have it over to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. That's what I'm talking about. 4:30 p.m. is one of the largest graduation ceremonies that we have. And then we are going to have our annual gala over at Red Rock Resorts. It's a night of second chances. And who's coming in to speak is so big that I can't even tell you right now. I've been keeping it a surprise. Does that make sense? To show up, make sure you come and see us and celebrate the month of second chances. Thank you so much for everyone who gathered here at the Billy Walter Center for Second Chances. We want to say good night to everybody inside the Nevada Department of Corrections. I know that what Dominic shared with you, when you get back up on the bunk, I really want you to chew on those things and understand that there is nothing on the inside of Dominic that's not on the inside of you, and you can tap into that where you are right now. So good night to everybody on Facebook, Oprah's Facebook page, the LinkedIn channel, and our YouTube channel. Good night, everybody, and we will see you next Tuesday night.